Alright, so take 2 of this video. Hopefully the wind doesn't get picked up too much. But if it does, it does. So this is a little bit different. We're going to, or I'm going to, so this video is going to be a little bit different because we really can't go too far to do filming. We have stuff around the house we have to do. So I thought I'd do something a little different here, like basically how I film some of the stuff that I do, because I've noticed a lot of people have been enjoying the showcasings that I do. I know some are long, some are short, and it all depends on how I feel about if I have enough footage of it or if I don't. If I'm not getting a good feeling and have any more to do, I just don't do it anymore. I just stop filming. So, but the effects that I get in it, like my last one, my Shin showcasing, Shin Katana, with the star, basically the light shining like a star, is from something like this. It looks like a regular lens, and there's really fine lines in it, which creates a star effect. Well, it's called a star filter, because most of my effects that I do, besides my transitions, 90% of them are actually done with the camera and not in post. There's pros and cons to it, for sure. Like I have here that I've used, the kaleidoscope lens, which is a fun one to use. My editing software that I use has a kaleidoscope, but I don't like it. It looks too digital, so I use a filter to achieve those effects. And then there's some effects I can't get with in post, like this one right here. This is from K&F. It's a company called K&F. They make some really good stuff. This was used in the last showcasing video. If you notice, one side's flat, the other's sloped. So basically this side creates a clear image, this side stretches the image out. This is what it does. And the nice thing about these is they don't cost much. And some of them rotate, some of them are stationary. Like this was like $32 to fit my camera. So, and I mark them all. I have everything marked, so I know exactly what it is when I grab it. The one thing I always keep on my camera is a UV lens, and that's so the original lens doesn't get dirty. So I can just take that off, clean it, and I'm good to go. And I just put it back on. And if it gets ruined, it was only like $9. Another type of filter I like to use is black mist filters. These are nice because they cut down on harshness. They highlight kind of shadows, bloom light, depending on the strength. Like this is a quarter strength. I have a 1/2 inch. This is also from K&F, $20. So you just screw it on. Tones down any blemishes on the skin. Really handy to have. I use these all the damn time, all the time. And then I've used something like a shimmer, is kind of like a black mist, but not as strong. But yeah, I use filters all the time, and then I've got something called a white mist. So it does a reverse. All right, black mist highlights kind of the shadows, tones down the skin a bit, blooms light. This will bloom light too. But the thing is, if you have a subject or an object in like certain lighting, it'll put a glow around it, which is kind of a neat effect. So white mist is used a lot in photography, but you can also use it in video. And I've got like this is from a company called Walking Way. $20. This one right here was $11, and it works really good. And I have all three of theirs. This is a 0, and then I have a 1 and a 2, and I got those in a bundle pack for $20. So this was like 11. 2-pack was $20. So $30 I have all three of their white mists, which is actually a really good deal. Really fun one. I mean, all you need to use is this guy right here. This is a retro soft filter. Now, the company Prism Effect makes a filter like this. It's called the Nostalgic. Gives you that retro look from the 70s and 80s, early 80s. It's $95. This one is $20. It does the exact same thing. The only difference is, if I put this on here, you notice things go a little bit yellow. Then you take it off, little bit yellow, and take it off. So that's what it's doing. The lens is actually a light coating of yellow. So sometimes you have to play with your white balance, tone it down a bit. Otherwise you're going to look kind of jaundice. But this will give you that nice like grindhouse look from the 70s. And if you've ever seen films from the 70s where they look kind of yellowish, it's due to the grade of film that they were using. It was really, really cheap film. So it gave it that gritty, yellowy look. So that's what this thing does. And you use this with a LUTs in your post that adds that dirty like look film to it, and it comes out looking really cool. So now I know some people use their phone and are thinking, well, I use my phone, I can't do it because, you know, I can't attach it. That's not true. So they make attachments for your phones, you know. They make camera cages. It's basically a metal cage that your phone pops into, and on the camera side, the lenses, there's a big ring, and you just screw the filter on there, and there you go. You can put prism lenses on there, whatever, black mist, white mist, whatever you want, as long as the threading matches, and then you just hit record. So that's an option. You just gotta shop around. There's not very many that I found for the S23 Ultra. iPhones is a bunch. They even have clip-on, where it just clips onto your phone, and then you just screw the thread on. So you don't have to put it in a cage if you don't want to. It just clips over it. You're good to go. So there's that option. So you're not like limited if you want to use effects like that. They make attachments now for phones, so which is kind of cool. So you can use your phone. So I mean, what's the pros and cons of using filters? Let's go with the cons first. Everybody always goes with the pros. The cons is the moment you put it on your camera and you hit record, it's embedded in your video. There's no removing it. There's no undo button. It's a done deal. So sometimes I will shoot the same thing twice. One without, one with, to see if it works or doesn't work. Because with doing like the showcasings that I've done, I don't have to put it in the way I filmed it. I can flip them around and put them in any order I want. That works. So that's the nice thing about doing stuff like that. Any filming of an object, you don't have to put it in the order that you film it, as long as it seems like it's flowing together. So unless you're doing dialogue, then that's different. You have to put it in the order that you film it. Otherwise, it's just going to be not make any sense. So, using a filter, like I said, the moment it goes on the camera, it's a done deal. Can't undo it. Using post, you can undo it if you don't like it. You can just remove it like that, and it's gone. Okay. What's the con of using it in editing in post? Some of them, like I said, like with the kaleidoscope lens, in my software it looks too digital. But if I throw this on my camera, it doesn't. You know, because it's in real time. That's why. So that's a con for doing it in post. How much do you want your video to look like digital? You know? Because I've noticed a lot of people are trying to pull away from too much digital. And it has gotten a little ridiculous. And all this stuff is just from what I've learned. I'm not an expert. I'm still learning stuff. Joe over in Blade Mindset, he has way more knowledge. He's been doing it for years, does it for a living. So hit him up. He'll be more than happy to help you. But I like using stuff like this, and I don't always use a star filter, only if I'm at the river or whatever. Try to use them on cutting water bottles, because sometimes you can catch a star flare as the bottle, you know, after you cut, the water goes everywhere, depending on how the sun's positioned, and it looks really cool. But I have a whole box of filters. You know, I have different types. Like this type right here. Let me see if I can't get it out, because I have so many of them. I need a bigger box. This one right here. It's called a Black Diffusion 1. Now this sucker is hella strong. Hella strong. So if I put that over that, you can see the background blooms out in the sunlight a lot. And if I remove that, you see it tones down. And I put it back, it just blows out that image from this harsh sun. So those are things you have to take in consideration. How much strength do you want out of your filter? Because it will just zap like your whole image, like right now, totally and completely. I had one instance, I had to pitch a whole one part of my video because the sun was just blasting it out like crazy, and it just looked like crap, you know. But there's ways around that one too. You can use one of these, and yes, you can get them for your phone. Like I said, attachment. This is called a CPL. So CPL is basically, let me see if I can't get a better deal of this for you. A CPL is basically sunglasses for your camera. And this one is adjustable. I can adjust it. So that's basically what it is sunglasses for your camera. And that'll help cut down that glare a lot, because it can ruin a video right now. Like I said, I had to pitch one segment of a video I did because it was just, it was crap. Now, like I said, I have a lot of K&F because, like I said, their filters aren't expensive. I have K&F, and I have one from a company called Neewer, Neewer, and they're both really good. K&F I like a lot. The visual effect I used in the last showcasing, that was from K&F, that prism glass, like $34. Like this shimmer diffusion one, I want to say it was under 20 bucks. But the nice thing about K&F too is they give you these in every order just about, and these are microfibers that are vacuum sealed, and you get 3 most of the time. You get 3 every time you order a filter. So I have a stack of these in the house, and they're great. You can use them on your glasses. You go camping, you can bring them with, throw them in a bag. I keep a couple on me for my lenses, or actually my filters, I should say, because with using a camera like this, you don't change the lenses out, because they're all, with camcorders, they're all built into the camera. The glass is stacked in there. But yeah, you get tons of these, and it's handy to have, especially if you wear glasses too. You can throw one in your car, and, you know, there you go. You can clean your glasses. And then, like this guy, this is a start filter. This, and you can see the lines in it right there. So this creates a blue streak. The problem is I have to adjust my focal length, so I have to zoom in a little bit. Otherwise, those lines will show up like crazy. To make the lines smaller, because the lines are really big on this one. So it all depends on what you want to do. You know, this is just like a little tip. Anybody who wants to change up stuff, you can use your phone still. Like I said, they make attachments now. You can put all these filters. The only difference is I noticed with most of the attachments for your phones to put filters on, they're about a 63mm lens thread, which is not a big deal. My camera's a 58mm, so I just get 58mm. Like I said, I can't change the lens out, so. Some people would say, why don't you use a mirrorless or DSLR? My wife has a mirrorless. That's hers. But that's so she can take photography pictures. We don't use it for video. Like I said before, the reason why I use a camcorder is because it's made for video. They don't overheat. They'll run. As long as they have memory and power, they will run continuously without stopping. The other great thing about using this type of camera is I don't have to swap out lenses to get a certain zoom or focal amount. It just hit the rocker and it's going. I can zoom in and out, do whatever. Now, people say you can't do movies on camcorders. That is a yes and a no. If you have a very cheap camcorder, no, you can't, because you can't change the shutter speed and everything else. On a camera like this, which is just below a production video camera film, you can change shutter, ISO, gain. I can do all that on this camera. So yeah, I can. That's why I said yes and no. If you have a really cheap, lower model camcorder like a Sony Handycam, and I'm not saying that they're cheap. They're less expensive. Let's put it that way. You can't change the ISO on them. You can't change the gain. You can't change the shutter speed that much on those cameras. Okay, they've only packed so much inside them. Whereas this XA60, I can do all that on there. Because what people forget when they film movies and stuff, that's basically what they're using. It's just a bigger version of a camcorder. It's not a photography camera. You can get those and use them, yes. But generally, it's basically a big version of a camcorder. That's what camcorders are based off of, actually, is those movie cameras. That's why they're square. I mean, they'll do everything. The only difference is you add lenses to them. That's all. But it's whatever you have. You can get, if you ever wanted to get artistic with just cutting bottles, you can do it. You can add filters to it. If you've ever seen some of my videos where the camera's tilted, it's because I'm deliberately doing it. My tripods allow me to really do that because they're ground spreaders, not mid spreaders, which means the spreader is in the center of the legs. Mine sit on the ground. I like using those because they have more versatility, I feel. But it's when you tilt the camera, it's called a Dutch angle, and it's supposed to add more tension to your film for the audience. Give it a try. Just a little bit kilter. And then play with your focal point. You know, zoom in and out what looks really, really good. That's what it's meant to do. Play around with your filming. I mean, like I said, if you've ever felt like, oh, well, I want to change it up a little bit, do it. Have fun with it. That's the beauty of creating like art. It changes to the person who's creating it. That's what it's doing. You create it in the way that you see it. That's why art's always changing, if that makes sense. So have fun with it. If you're ever interested, like I said, if you're ever wondering, you know, I wish I could do that, you can. You attach them to your phone. And they're not expensive. K&F, I highly recommend. Neewer is a good brand too. I recommend that. And Walking Way, because those are the ones I have. Highly recommend them. They're good lenses. Threads are clean. They do what they say they're going to do. Just like I said, if you get the retro, even with your phone, you should be able to dial in your white balance. You just have to go into your settings. Because if you don't dial that white balance down, or up, I should say, with that retro lens, oh, everything's going to be yellow looking. Harshly, unless you're going for that. If you're going for that, then screw it. But yeah, have fun with it, making stuff. Hopefully next weekend we'll be on track, be able to get some footage done. It's just like I said, we got too much going on at home, so we're just chilling here. It's all for you guys. So have a good one and have fun making videos. Take it easy.